Hey everybody, I am Big Will, and I am here with the guy who has pressed my books, Gamma Rayz Comics. What's going on, man? How you doing?
How are you guys? How are you?
All right, I'm doing pretty good. Now, normally this is the point where I just jump in and we get started with everything, we show some books, but we got some bad news that one of ours, Sam's Tangled Web, had gone. So I figured, you know what? Why don't we just give Sam a moment of silence here and a little moment of reflection as we remember him. All right. Thanks everybody for showing up and being here and joining us. And you know, because Sam loved Amazing Spider-Man so much, the first book I'm going to show is Amazing Spider-Man 316. Now, Gamma, I know you press a lot of books from a lot of people, but do you remember anything specifically about this Amazing Spider-Man 316? Because I noticed you did a couple of them at the same time. So if you don't remember anything, that's fine.
No, I don't. I'll be honest.
All right. Well, I have the book right here. Great cover by Todd McFarlane.
That's the first cover appearance of Venom, right?
Yes, it is. And this one's a newsstand.
And
I'll just show everybody here. This thing looks pretty good. You don't see any major color breaking ticks or anything like that. I know it's not
it looks good from my view.
It looks good from my view. I was hoping it does have a few ticks. You just can't see them. They're really small. I was hoping for about a 9.0, maybe a 9.2, if your pressing job was able to work some magic somehow. But a 9.0 is what I was hoping for, and that's what we got.
Wow.
Yeah, and I can tell you right now, I see everything that they on the graders notes say is wrong with this, and this is not a 7.0 book. I think you would have noticed if I was going to send in a 316 that was a 7.0. It's not worth it at that point. So I think they graded us harsh on this one, man. I don't believe this is a 7.0. What do you think?
Well, I have my opinion on the way grading goes, and it may not be a popular opinion, and that goes for both grading companies. I really don't think that people are really getting the grades on the books that they should be getting. And it's really hard to say, because I always say the grading companies are kind of like, I'm kind of showing my age here, but it's like Willy Wonka in the Chocolate Factory. He said, nobody ever goes in and nobody ever comes out.
Yeah.
If you can understand where I'm going with this, nobody really knows what goes on, how people grade, what they're taking into consideration. I do know that I have seen a news segment not too long ago that was put up by one of my buddies, and it was on CGC, and he was doing a Captain America #1, and what they do is they just take defects and stuff like that, and they put them in a software system, and at the end it tallies out the grade number. What they're taking into consideration and how much they're taking off for each defect is beyond us. I really don't know.
Well, according to the grader's notes, this ASM 316 spine stress breaks color,
Mm.
Creases, right corners, front cover, breaks color. They didn't specify, but it's the bottom. Stain, top edge, back cover, and few stains, bottom back cover. And I saw all of that, but I'm pretty sure this still does not qualify as a
That doesn't
7.0.
constitute a 7.0 in my book. I agree with you.
Yeah,
I think what they're doing is they're taking off more for defects and they're not really telling people. I think, you know, I don't know if you remember, it was probably like a year ago, and it was said throughout the comic book community, people were getting 9.8s left and right at a CGC.
yeah,
Now all of a sudden this year they've changed, that what is it, Blackstone bottom, and
yeah,
they're having all these management, companies buying this and buying that, and they're getting more graders and stuff.
yeah. But
I don't know, they're just,
yeah,
I think they're trying not to put out so many 9.8s on there.
true. But let's talk about this one. I think you would remember this one.
That is first Black Adam, right?
No, actually,
Second Black Adam.
It's a Shazam issue. That's the first Black Adam. This is the second time that he's used outside of the Golden Age, and it's the first meeting of him in Superman. So this is where they first fight each other for the first time. This, if you can't get his, no one talks about Golden Age, but if you can't get his first Silver Age appearance, which is technically in the Bronze Age, this is the book you want. And if you remember, this thing was nice and clean. It looked very good. I was very, very happy when I bought it for the deal I got. I mean, you remember this one, right?
Yes.
So I'm assuming you were thinking something along the same lines, pretty high grade on this one. I believe I asked you if you thought it had a chance at a 9.8, and you said it did, and I agreed with you.
I don't see why not. At that time, I did not.
I can tell you right now, we were close.
I want to say 9.2. 9.4. Nice. But that's still a good grade for a book.
Yeah, that's still a great grade. I mean, obviously, I'd rather have a 9.8, but I'm very happy with your pressing job, and I'm happy with a 9.4 because the things that are bringing it down are things that you couldn't do a thing about. The notes say thin sun shadow, top edge, back cover, and tiny spine stress, which I don't know about the spine stress, but okay, sun shadow. All right.
Brother, can I say something real quick? I have seen things like a heavy crease, a moderate crease, and a light crease on graders' notes. What do those look like? What does a moderate crease look like versus a light crease? Are those things that these grading companies are using to dumb down the grade?
Terms.
Say that again.
In case you're wondering, that is the sun shadow it's talking about, where it changes color a little bit at the top.
Yeah, that would actually take some sort of wet process to get rid of, and I don't do that.
Yeah. So, like I said, I'm perfectly fine with that. We're good to go there. Now, this next one, I thought it had a chance at a 9.6, maybe even a 9.8. Mm-hmm. This is one you'll probably remember as well. I'm curious as to if you have those same thoughts. This is Marvel Age 41.
That's a square bound book, ain't it?
Nope. Regular stapled. It's not a square bound.
Okay.
But it's still
I do remember that book. That book was in good condition, man.
Yeah, it was. And I was thinking 9.6, 9.8, hoping for. We got a 9.4.
Wow.
But like Rob Boswell said, hey, that's still near mint.
That's a good grade though.
Yeah. And what it says on this one for the Marvel Age
Yeah.
is another thing that you can't do anything about as a presser. So you did a good job on this one as well. Tiny spine stress breaks color. That's probably a minute one single tick that probably
Right.
breaks color. Very light foxing to cover. That is what got it down to the 9.4. And I know from experience that it is hard to see foxing sometimes unless it's bad. And sometimes it's almost invisible unless you take like a black light to it or something. So I can understand why.
Yeah, they do that.
Yeah. So I totally get that for this one. But even with that, this thing looks pretty dang good, and a 9.4 is nothing to sneeze at, man.
It's almost like, what are they using to see the stuff that you can't see?
Yeah. But anyway, hey Christine, how you doing? And hey everybody else. I popped your name up if I didn't say hey. But yeah, foxing, for those of you that don't know, basically that's mold.
Yeah, there's actually a buddy of mine. He's on IG. I don't know if you ever seen him, Jerry the Jitterbug. He's really good with getting mold out and stuff like that. And it takes a wet process, and I just don't do that. I wish there was a dry process that took that stuff out.
Well, I don't like fooling with wet processes, just for obvious reasons. So
Nah, brother, I agree with you.
So I'm if a dry press can't do it, then oh well.
It is what it is. Yeah.
Yeah. But for the most part, most issues, if I buy a book, I know that they can be solved, and that's what I send them to the presser for, is to solve those issues I saw.
Right.
So it doesn't bother me. But we got one final book. This one, I can't remember if it's this one or another one. You had some googly eyes when you did the little video you do on Instagram for. So this one I also thought looked good, and I was surprised at how good it looked. Because I gotta be honest with you, man. When I bought it, you know how when you buy a book, this is a tip for everybody. When you buy a book, get it out of its bag and make sure and look, because you can see mold and spine ticks and all that. Take it out of the bag and they go away. It's all just on the bag because it's old.
Yeah.
You'd be amazed at what could be just on the bag. But this is X-Men 164, first binary.
First Carol Danvers is binary.
Yeah. And this thing also looked very, very nice.
I'm already feeling that it's going to be Grader's notes on stuff that we couldn't see.
Well, I will tell you, the grader's notes say small spine stress mark. But there's a reason why that's what it says.
Okay.
It's because we got a 9.6.
Wow, dude, that's a good grade for that.
That is a great. I am perfectly okay with that as a grade. 9.6, I'll take it. I like it.
I want to say you're happy.
I would be happy. Yes, I am happy with a 9.6 on the first binary. So
I was looking at purchasing that book today too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't have it.
Yeah, well, just so happens I have one for sale. I don't know if you've seen it.
All right, we'll talk offline about that.
We spine stress breaks color. That's all it says. 9.6 white pages. I'm happy with it. And so the reason I'm having you on and showing this stuff off is because I don't just trust people, wholeheartedly with my books if I don't know them.
I can tell.
So you can tell.
It's an honor.
So what I do is when someone says, "Hey, I can press your books,"
Yeah.
or whatever with my books, I make sure that I know somebody that does multiple business with them, like Discovery Bay Comics. I would imagine, is one of your biggest people.
JB, yeah, he is one of my biggest customers. I've been working with him for the better part of this year. So
Yeah. So and he sends you a ton of stuff, a ton of
yeah.
valuable stuff.
Yes.
And he hasn't had a bad thing to say about you. So I tried. Your prices are fair.
Yeah.
The older the book, the more expensive. I don't like that, but everyone does that because the older the book, the more can go wrong with the book.
The
So
higher
it
the
makes
risk.
total
That's absolutely
sense.
right.
Makes total sense. Prices are fair. You say 5 weeks, but you did mine in like a week.
I
Now,
do run
granted,
a
if it had
buffer. Yeah.
taken 5 weeks, that's what you said, I would have no issue. So that means you hit your mark, or you're better than your mark. And you know, they got us real harsh on that one, and
Yeah.
I don't blame you for that. I think they just, for some reason, did not like my 316. It should be a higher grade than that. But everything came back good, and you did a good job. No damage to anything. So I'm gonna be using you again right now, and I already got one of my buddies to send you something, and you probably already got it. And that's Micah the Great right here. He's looking forward to
Yeah.
seeing.
Yeah. I talked to him a few days ago, so I look forward to getting his books, man.
Yeah, what his books are put mine to shame. A FF 49
Yeah.
and a first saber tooth. Whoo!
Yeah.
I, I wish I
I've
had
worked
those.
with those books before.
Yeah, but
Yes.
it's I'm not going to ask you back for the other 4 books I sent you because I have no idea when they'll be done. Because right now it's 22 weeks is the wait time. So who knows?
Yeah. I. It's funny you had said that because I actually sent CBCS an email today because they've had my first order through CBCS was accepted into processing on June 1st, and I still haven't got them.
Yeah. Well, they have 4 books of mine from May, and they
Yeah,
just now got into pressing, and they're being pressed right now.
yeah.
Then I have to wait my 22 weeks or whatever for them to grade those books. Luckily, what
Oh,
they are, I'm good to wait. You know, I mean, I don't want to, but I'm good to wait. And hey, Hogan. But anyway, thanks again for coming on. Would you like
yeah.
to advertise yourself while I got you here? I mean, you looking for more business?
Yeah. I mean, Gamma Rays Comics. I clean and press. I do buy 5 clean and presses. You get your 6th one free all the time. I also do run other promotions where it's pressing only. I'll go ahead and do 5 half off. It's usually $10 for the presses only. I usually do them for $5. So keep an eye out. All right. I'm based out of Florida, and I do submit to CGC. I do submit to CBCS. I do have a processing fee. It's from 1 to 25 books, I do $25. From 25 to 50 books, it's $50 for processing. And that's entering all the data, also finding a good, fair value for your book. And that's it.
I'm good at explaining things to people. What he's saying is, if you don't want to do the legwork, you can
Yeah.
just send him books and say, send this to CGC or send this to CBCS. And he'll do all the legwork for you, putting it in and putting it
Yeah.
new and all that. Or you could
Yeah.
do what I do
That's right.
and already do that and just print out the invoice. And all he has to do is package it up as if he would to send it back to you. But instead, throws in the invoice, sends it to wherever he's getting graded.
And I want to go ahead and say, I'm okay with that. I'm not trying to push that part of the service on anybody. If you guys have an account and you want to go ahead and send me the invoice with your books, you want me to ship them off to Sarasota, I'll go ahead and do it. I'm not mad if I don't make any money on that. The service that I provide, yeah, I do make money on it, but I I want to go ahead and say I have a love for comic books first. I'm a collector, and then I'm a business. So it's not all about making money for me.
All right. Well, I think that's a good sentence to end on. Well, thanks everybody for watching. Thanks everybody here in the live chat. We appreciated you. Thank you again to Gamma Rayz Comics for jumping on. And if you need some books pressed, folks, I will try to add his IG stuff. Excuse me. Once this video is ready to go in the library here, I'll try and add his stuff. I completely forgot to do that ahead of time. But anyway, he's on IG, and it's the same for your IG, right? Gamma Rayz Comics, just like that?
That's right. There's just underscores in between the words.
All righty. Well, there you go, folks. And of course, you know me, Big Will Comics on IG. Be looking forward this weekend, Saturday or Sunday, to my auction claim sale preview video. I'll be putting it out sometime Saturday or Sunday. And remember, the way I do it, it'll be every single item that is going to be in the auction, as well as every single item in the exact order that it's going to be in the auction. So there's no muss, no fuss. You know what's going on. And Rob Boswell, I just might make you one.
Oh man.
We'll see you guys later.